we value our clients and we want to make sure that they know that we're always going to be there for them.
The privilege to see that, like, oh, wow, I have my first home.
Help our agents to grow and build a culture, where people are helping people to, achieve their dreams of real estate.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the What's Next podcast. I'm your host, Levi Casada, and behind the scenes, obviously, is my main man, Tony. Say what's up, Tony.
What up, what up?
Tony, I know we've been talking about this for the last how many podcasts? I don't even remember, but what's the motto of this state? Sunny San Diego? Like, is that even going to be possible this year? Like, or
the city?
Of the city? Like, is this even going to happen this year? Are we going to see any more sun?
I know, man. That's what I've been asking myself. What are we, like? I don't know.
Seattle. Seattle. I was thinking like June gloom. Yeah. I'm thinking like, okay, now we got to make something up for April now. Like, just always overcast April.
New York now? Are we New York? Like, what's going on here?
Well, besides that, there's no sunshine out these days, but I'm going to go a little cliche here. That this is my ray of sunshine, this podcast. And it's nothing different today because I'm already in love with this couple. I love doing this. I love doing couple podcasts too. This is only my second one, but it's so much fun. Let me introduce you guys to the Branco, right?
Yep. Branco
Group.
Yep. At Valus
I have
Realty.
at Valus Realty. Yeah. Thank you so much. I've got Ryan and Lilia Branco. Thank you guys so much for coming on to the podcast.
Yes.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us, brother.
Yeah. Man, I've been practicing your last name this whole time, and then I still mess it up. I don't know what it is. It's the alcohol or something?
Bronco. It's,
you
just got to go with it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, they call
Branco.
me Bronco.
That's why I got to just let it flow.
Bronco? I'm like, yeah, something like that.
Bronco. Right? Well, welcome.
Just go with it. Thank you.
Yeah. Is this your first podcast for both of you?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
At least your first podcast. We're drinking, hanging out, having a good time.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's leisure.
It is leisure.
It's leisure. I love it because it's like, what do they call that when you hear the sound? It's like, I've got these things on and you hear the incredible crispness of someone's voice. It's pretty different.
Is it?
It's different.
I don't like the sound of my voice.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. So you can hear someone else very clearly.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
It definitely changes a podcast. If you always looked at one of those podcasts or watched them, you're like, why do they got their headsets on?
Yeah.
But now you know why.
Well, yeah, I watch Joe Rogan all the time, so it's like,
now
I get it.
Yeah,
it's more intimate.
It's more intimate.
Yeah,
You're deeply involved. It's our conversation right now. It's not everybody else's.
For sure.
So, yeah.
For sure.
Well, we're gonna have a good time. So I always love to start the show with Would You Rather's. So you're not prepared for this. This is going to be a little twist today because it's a couple's Would You Rather.
Right.
So it's about you two.
Okay.
All right. So there's no wrong answer. Well, maybe. I don't know. You guys might talk about it later today. But
I'm gonna blame you for that one.
I went very easy on you. There's some deep ones you could go into, and I was like, I don't know them quite well.
Right.
So we'll make sure. Okay, so the first one. Would you rather have your partner tell you what they want as a gift or surprise them? We'll start with you, Lilia.
That's easy.
I want him to tell.
You want to tell. You don't want to be surprised? You hate surprises? No.
Bro, you're talking to a lady who literally I've bought presents for and had to return them.
Yeah.
Because I got the wrong damn thing.
Yeah.
So she's
I
like,
get you. Just give it. Just tell me what you're
Tell me what it is.
Yeah.
Go point it out, take a picture, send it to me, and then buy it.
And then buy it. But I don't think it's just you. I'm just going to say it's not just you. It's my wife. Same thing. I try as hard as I can to figure it out, and I will always be wrong. I'll always be wrong. I don't know what it is. For you?
Yeah.
No, you'd like to be surprised. You don't care.
After a while, you just kind of realize, okay, she's special. She likes certain things, and I have to do it the certain way.
Right.
So if she's happy, we're happy.
There you go.
Keep it simple.
End the show on that right there. Just the quote of the day. If you're happy, wife,
she happy,
life.
we happy.
Yeah. So do you like to be surprised then?
I like surprise.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't care.
She hooked me up with a set of golf clubs, for Christmas, and I was like, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I like the element of surprise.
Right.
Because that just throws everything into a twist. I'm a variety guy. So if I have variety, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
But if I have the monotonous, the same old, I just tend to
Yeah. You're not the tie guy then. You don't want the tie from Christmas,
No.
like every year. Like,
well, she does at least buy a new ugly sweater That's the cool thing. We
That's
get a
the
new
cool
ugly
thing. But that's the variety too. That's
Right.
It's the same but different.
but different.
Same but
Yeah, it's a
different.
different twist, you know.
Well, that's cool.
Hopefully it's a different party. So we have good parties again
Yeah.
too, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one. Would you rather ask your partner for help or figure it out yourself?
Yeah.
A
I'll
little
let
bit
you
of
go.
both, I think.
A little
for
bit of
me.
both?
Yes.
Okay.
There are things, like in the business, for example,
Yeah.
I don't like to do the paperwork. I am all about,
You ask for the help.
yes.
That's-
She's an Excel spreadsheet nerd. She's a nerd. So my wife actually is a nerd. I love it because she'll figure it out, and if she doesn't have it, she'll learn it somehow and just put it all on an Excel spreadsheet.
So you are kind of figure it out yourself though too.
Yes.
So you are, that's right. It's kind of both, but then when it comes to the actual paperwork,
Yes.
Yeah.
you're like, nah.
Yes.
The fast help.
Help.
Yeah.
Help.
Yes.
You
Or if it comes to like complicated things that it involves my help, I will just,
Yeah.
okay, then just back off of that. Let me take over.
At this point in our marriage life and business life together, because
Yeah.
we have done almost 20 years together, we know exactly what our strong points are and which ones are not. So,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How long did it take you all 18 years or 20 years to figure that out or
yes, we are still
still
figuring
learning?
out.
Yeah. That's
There's new
But-
things that pop up, and you're
Yeah.
like, why?
right.
Where?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just the way things, it's the way the cookie crumbles, right?
Yeah.
So I think over a course of 10 years, you start to kind of mesh. That's just my opinion. 10 years could be 7 for someone else. Could be like 6.
Yeah.
I know they talk about the 7-year itch, but I'm like, dude, that's so gross. Like I just think about life in general. Like, what is it, about my wife that I need to learn more of? And that's a question I ask myself all the time.
yeah.
What do I need to learn more? Because obviously she's learning about me all the time because I hear it.
Right.
So, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, that's good. She's speaking the truth.
She
and
does, yeah.
You know what? If you've gone through a renovation with anybody, that's the time that I just went through renovation, and that's really the
Yeah.
whole shebang.
Yeah.
Like after 13 years of marriage, you're like, okay, we still have some work after, getting this house all done.
That's
But
so
yeah.
true. That's actually a good analogy because we just, it was funny because I reposted a post about our kitchen remodel.
Yeah.
That was yesterday, 1 year.
That's funny.
Yeah, and it was just like, I got to post that. That's just, that's something I want out there in the internet because I also, the contractor, architect guy that helped us, I just put him in there as a tag and he just, thank you.
That's cool. Yeah.
But it was neat because that process, it was the both of us, and we never singled each other out on any one thing.
Oh, that's good.
We tried she tried on certain things, and we spent money, and it was kind of wasted money. But it was like, hey, at least we tried,
Right.
and we figured something out, and then it just kind of came together.
Yeah.
And when it came together, now we look at it and we're like, wow, that was the both of us.
Right.
It was two different ideas, and she had one version of it. And I said, okay, well, if you're going to do that, because I didn't want to like override her version.
Yeah.
I just wanted to kind of like enhance, what I knew and what I thought. Like she wasn't thinking about the lights above the counter.
A little bit more details stuff.
Details,
Yeah.
Like, well, we need to move electrical and we need to do all this.
Yeah.
And I really wanted a pot filler because I'm like, who has a big house without a
Dude.
pot filler, bro?
I wanted one so bad.
You know what
it
I
was
mean?
going to take too long, but yes. Yeah.
But here's the thing, and what I didn't realize is that simplicity of what that took was finding the right guy to do the job.
Right.
And we found the right guy. He's like, oh,
100%.
dude, that's just a PEX line that goes here and there. And I was like,
Yeah.
the last guy was telling me I had to run my water from the outside, and it was like some contraptions. I'm like, yeah. So the right people, my idea was right, but the right people can make your idea seem like it was like Mission Impossible.
Right.
But we had the right concepts. When it all was said and done, it came together and it just looked amazing.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to plug anybody, by the way? You can. I don't know if you have your contract.
My guy
Like,
Pedro
yeah.
Martinez.
Yeah, look in that camera. Talk to
Yeah.
Pedro.
Where's
This
Pedro?
one right here, right here.
Okay.
This one right here. Talk to her. Like,
Pedro. Thank
he's
you, bro.
good.
We
Yeah.
love you, man. We know you're in Guadalajara right now, and we know that you're going to come back to the States, bro. But when you do,
Yeah.
we're waiting to hang out and have pork bellies.
Pork
belly.
That's awesome.
This guy can cook.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, Pedro, come on. Yeah, come to the clubhouse. We'll get,
Right?
You brought up a great point, though. So as much as you want to stay, and this is my advice to people out there, if you're in construction or something with your wife or renovation, as much as you're a guy or, the husband or whoever your partner says, I trust you, do what you want to do, just don't do that. Be involved.
Right.
You have to be involved.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to like the fine things like this. Like all of a sudden electricity has to be moved because the cabinets were this. Like if I would have been a little bit more involved instead of just blind for everything, because I was like, you do what you want, I'm okay.
For sure.
We do care.
Yeah.
Guys do care.
Yeah.
I trusted my wife, but I wish I would have helped her with that process. It would have been easier on her, would have been easier on me towards the end. Like you said, you spend less money sometimes because all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, why do we do that
Yeah.
instead of this? And it's like too late.
Right.
Don't do it too late. That's when the arguments happen.
Yeah.
And so I think you guys did it the right way, is both having a vision and.
Well, and like I said, going back to the right people factor, because do you remember that time when you were like, wait a minute, I thought you were painting because it was natural oak, or not oak, it was a wood, natural wood, but it was the regular natural wood color.
Right.
And she's like, no, I told you white. And so you have to paint this. And Pedro's like, what do we do? He has a guy. So having the right people, he had a guy, everybody's got a, they got a guy,
But they had to do it on the house
inside
instead of having taken them before they were installed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But it was just that fact that we were able to, have that happen. It was almost like our vision of what we wanted was going to come together because that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
So it overpowered anybody else's, idea.
Yeah.
It was our idea. So we just kept moving with it. And he had this guy comes out, paints it within one day. And we're like, okay, mission accomplished.
Yeah. That's all we needed.
He lost some money on that.
Yeah.
But
it happens.
It's a good friend of ours. And he's like, I'm not letting you down.
Right.
So having the right
that's a good guy.
People. Yeah.
You don't need just a guy. You need a good guy.
A good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're definitely grateful for Pedro.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that was only the second question of the. That's so funny. That's why I love.
Let me take a drink.
No, you know what's funny is that's why I love these would you rather questions, because they, as much as they're silly and stuff, they really you can go off of them forever.
You open up.
You open up. So, what's your favorite thing in the kitchen? Like, what came out so that you're like, that's what the vision?
I think the pot filler.
The pot filler.
In the beginning, I was like, it's such a waste of money. How can we open up the wall, the ceiling, do all of these things, pay the contractor so much just to put that little thing in there?
Yeah.
So I couldn't understand it. Like, I can care less. I will go to the sink.
Yeah, you just walk to the sink until you have a pot filler. I'm just telling you, until you have that pot filler, and you're like, I will never go back.
Yes.
Right?
So that was
Yeah. So
and it moves too, right? Like you just here's your coffee, you put it in your coffee,
cool.
you do it in your pot. Yeah.
Well, and it comes down to I would go to these beautiful new homes.
Yeah.
And some of them, like Shea Homes, would do a lot of those pot fillers, and they were big on that. And I thought, okay, if I go to Rancho Santa Fe, you're going to see pot fillers in the luxury homes, right? And it's such a small, simple thing, but yet who wouldn't want to have that extra mile in your house, Like, what makes sense is having your home look the way you want it to look.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did.
Yeah.
I never saw one in my life.
Well,
Never.
there you go.
That's
why you have me.
I didn't know it until we bought one house with one, and then I never went back. Like never have to move that heavy pot again or anything.
Right?
Like, this is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, so I looked at her and I was like, what do you think now, baby?
Yes. Love
Well, next question then.
All right.
Would you rather cook for your significant other or cook as a couple? You guys cook together.
No.
Now with the pot filler, you don't do it?
Let's just put it
No.
this way. I'm a really good eater.
Yes, and I like to spoil him
And you
because I
like to
know
cook.
that he it's out and about with clients and
Yeah.
stuff. So I want him that when he comes home, he has a retreat in his own home, and that the kids are nice and able to receive him. So those are the things that I prepare for him. So it's very important that
Can
I
you say that to my wife?
take care of him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, what are you talking about here? Hey,
Haven't heard that in a
everybody
long
listen
time.
up. Did you see? I felt the love just between you two. So that's amazing too. I love that for
You
one
know
thing.
what? Sometimes as a wife, you forget the main things. And I have made sure that even with the kids, when they were tired, I didn't care how tired they were after a practice. I was like, go and receive your father, be in the door and give him a hug.
Yeah.
Tell him how is he.
Yeah.
Because he has been working very hard for us. Even though I help him in the business, he's the rainmaker. He does a lot of things for us. So
Yeah.
I always make sure that I am grateful for that and that the kids are grateful for that.
That's amazing.
I am.
And you can, and like I said, you can really. And that's how well you guys know each other. This is true love here because we said it earlier, just with those little things about the gifts, like making her happy. Like you know how to make her happy, you know how to make him happy, and it works out. And so that's part of a partnership. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a partnership for sure. And
That's-
if you don't work together, then it won't be a good moment in your life. Let's just put it that way. You know, we've learned how to just work together. And there's been challenges, believe me. There's been a lot of things that have come up and challenged our resolve in terms of where we want to go and what we want to do. And it's easier when you look down the road. And looking down the road's one part of it, because if you look back and you look into, you know, where it all began and how it all began, you know, those are things that I think a lot of people these days, they just don't really, you know, give attention to that. And I could be wrong in many different levels, but I look at it and I think, you know what, when we were just dating, when we met each other, I was a personal trainer at a gym.
Yeah.
You know, and I wasn't thinking about dating any girls from the gym. I just felt like, hey, this is my place of work, because that was my mindset at that time.
That's your mindset, yeah.
And I said,
how old were you, by the way?
I was 24.
That's
24.
That's interesting you say that, because I think it's not like that anymore. Back then, we were very driven to, like, this is my workplace. This is, you know, this is where I go. I want to make sure that I keep it respectable.
And it was kind of the idea that, okay, well, if I come here to work, I want to make sure that everything's professional, because I want to take it to another level in my profession.
Right.
And I think, you know, nowadays there's a lot of people with that mindset, but I think there's a lot more freedom in terms of what they okay in life.
Yeah.
And which gets them into trouble. You know, and it could be drugs, it could just be, you know, partners, it could be whatever, you know, and it's like, yeah, well, all I can say is I'm good where I'm at, because I know with what I'm doing is considered to be the way it was meant to be. And someone may contest that, and that's fine. I totally am not going to try to contest you, but I will tell you what I believe and what I think is considered to be truth, you know?
Yeah.
And peace and harmony, we've had a lot of. But when we started, it was a question of, okay, I don't have these values to really want to date anybody here, you know, from this place. But yet at the same time, I really felt attracted to this woman. And I thought, you know what, hey, if she's wanting to be with me, then why not?
Why not?
You know what I mean? Let's give it a shot and just see what happens, you know, because I'm trying to find my way, so I might as well at least look into this concept and see. And it was amazing, because we literally, our first date, I mean, I had ice cream shoved in my face. It was awesome. Like, she was just joking around.
Yeah.
But like, okay, we're in a public place, and Ghirardelli's downtown San Diego, you know, and she just like bops me in the face with ice cream. Like, oh, cool, you know. But we were at, I don't know if you've been to Cafe Sevilla downtown. Oh, it's beautiful. But not the one now, the one on 4th Street when it was original.
The original one.
Yeah, just, you know, we shared a date and had some tapatilla. How do you call them? Tapas? Tapas, yeah. And this guy's playing music. It was like an amazing date, you know. But we were in love, and we didn't know really what that meant.
Yeah.
Until things kind of procured. You know what I mean? And it just kind of started to come together, and we just felt like, hey, you know what? Why not? And she was in law school, and she started to think, well, I got to go back. I got to finish up law school. And I'm all like, well, let's get married.
Yeah, don't leave me.
Yeah, don't leave me. You know,
I love this. Yeah.
You know, and so it was a moment of like, she had literally very little time here, and I had to make a decision. And I felt like, okay, well, I already know what I know. So, hey, will you marry me? And she's like, yes. And I was
in
like,
the third date.
What?
yeah.
Yes.
That's so we're talking like 18 years later. The third date.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it does happen.
It does happen.
It does happen. I mean, look at high school sweetheart people, you know,
Yeah.
they're still together, you know, but I feel like I didn't feel like I was going to meet somebody I'm from Ohio, Midwest guy, you know?
Yeah.
And I never.
Well, you came from a small town.
Small town.
Very small town.
Yeah. Bellevue, Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're maybe 10,000 people at that time, you know, ish. This guy's got it down to it. Well,
8209, it's
rounded up to the nearest 10,000. You know, and then coming to San Diego, you got like a couple million people.
Yeah.
And then you meet a Mexican girl from Mazatlan. You know, and see, you know, it was like exotic for me. It was like going to Europe and finding, you know what I mean? And then flying there, I literally felt like this is definitely me. I love variety. So
Yeah.
for me, it was like a dream come true.
That's amazing.
You know, so we've just been able to live that dream.
That's so
and
cool.
Now work together. And our first days were pretty interesting because he would just sit there and look at me like, "What are you doing?"
I didn't speak English.
Did you not speak English?
No.
Well, so let's go back though. I really want to dive a little bit deeper because I mean I've never stopped Would You Rather's this early, but this has been right, Tony. We
Yeah.
usually get through like 7 or 8 of them, but I love
But I
it.
do have a question though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did she say yes?
She said yes right
Claro
away.
que
Said
sí,
yes.
hombre.
All right. And sometimes like they say like, oh, hold on, but no, she knew too. She knew too. Yeah.
So let's go back. So you're in Mazatlan. Did I say that right?
No.
No,
Mazatlan.
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 Mazatlan. It almost sounds like my kids actually say this. They say Mazatlan. I'm like, no, it's not clan.
That's what I told you.
Mazatlan.
Mazatlan.
Mazatlan. Mazatlan. That's what you. That's why. That's why you're saying clan. I was like, I didn't know what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So, what brought you to San Diego?
So I have a sister that lived here for 10 years already, and she lived very close to the gym that she started taking me to.
Oh, nice.
And I will be in the gym and wait for him to arrive 4 hours with no food.
No, you wouldn't. You would wait. So you knew right away. You're like, I gotta see this guy.
Yes.
I'm waiting for him. Hang out.
Yes.
So you came over, and just to visit your sister.
Yes,
to live
I
with her
was
for a little bit?
working in. I had a very stressful job in Mazatlan, so I was the assistant for the subprocurador there.
Okay.
So it was just awful and sad and gray environment. So I wanted to come here, and one day I quit, and I told my mom, "Can we go and visit my sister?" And she said yes, and we came here for a month, and I started going to the gym, and that's where I met him.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's politics, right? That's
Yeah.
a politician. Just
Yeah.
watching.
But no, I know. I understand.
I'm just making sure. You know?
understand.
Mazatlan. I mean,
That's
like,
right.
gotta make sure.
God, I didn't know this was a roast
I
over
got you,
here.
buddy.
Ryan, so for you, Bellevue, Ohio,
Bellevue, Ohio.
small town. We
Which
talked
means
about
beautiful view, but I don't know how much view.
It's a small town.
Right.
You grew up there, played football there.
Yep.
Yeah, big sports guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
San Diego, like how did that get on your radar?
So, okay, grew up there, graduated, and didn't really know where or what I wanted to do. So I was the guy that had like 100 different jobs, you know,
Yeah.
trying to find out what about me that I liked.
Yeah.
In terms of what I could do and what I was good at. And so I tried to, just feel things out. You know, everything from plumbing to construction to going to college and just trying it out, seeing what I could do. In fact, I just realized I had like 140 credit hours.
Because you were just jumping around from
yeah,
different.
it's like I was going to school at the same time. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to try it. And I was trying to learn at the same time, and I didn't realize like I was actually more than a degree in terms of credits. I was just like
You're over. They were like,
yeah.
You're like, dude, get out of here.
Yeah, get outta here.
You were the what's the Van Wilder? Like there's like you're a senior, graduate already.
They did have me do a couple poses, but I was just curious. So I kind of used that curiosity to just help me to learn more about myself. And I was in discovery phase. So I didn't really know, and so there was a part of my life where I felt lost, and I felt like I didn't know what direction I'm supposed to go. And I had a God experience, and I just realized I need to change up, you know what I mean?
Right.
I need to just kind of like lay back a bit and just trust the process. And I didn't really know what that meant. And I kind of felt like, okay, if that means I just remain happy wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
I was a bellman, man, at a hotel, and
Still in Ohio.
In Ohio,
Okay.
yeah. I got to meet famous people, and I got to, help billionaires and stuff like that. And I made really good tips and stuff like that. It was cool, but I just didn't know my way yet. I kind of felt like it was coming, but I didn't really know. And so I just kept moving forward. Moved back in with my father, who lived in a little town called Woodville, of all places. And it was just a experience to just kind of, I tried college. It wasn't working too well. And so I figured, you know what, let's just do this. And I ended up getting into a position where one guy just kind of radically blew my mind. And he just, he's a cook, and he just kind of led me into a path that I thought was going to be a whole new world for me. And it was good because I was supposed to, you know, go to a rock star party that night and hang out with a bunch of people and have a good time, you know? And I was very lost. And this guy's like, you know, talking about God and it just, it changed my way of thinking to the point where I really, you know, thought about what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
You know, to where I made a difference in my direction. I made a shift, and I put my my faith in God, and I just said, you know, I'm gonna trust the process here, and just, you know, let Him guide me.
Yeah.
And if He's real, He's gonna help me to get more understanding about what I'm supposed to do. And really, that led to one event after another, to where I eventually was living with my older brother in an apartment in a small town, and we were just like, hey, you know what? I don't think we're good to live together as bros, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, why don't we just go ahead and split? And some of my friends from California were like, hey, man, we're here, and we need another roommate. And I was like, when did you guys move there? And they were like, oh, we moved out here like a year ago. And so I just said, okay, give me like a few months. And it turned in like 3 weeks.
You left in 3 weeks. You're like
3 weeks.
Gone.
I was out. I was gone. And everything lined up, you know, from just the moving truck and everything. It's just everything, you know, I put everything together because I was motivated. And what's really interesting, this dials back to my wife, is I actually had a vision of her 5 years before I met her.
What?
Really?
Yeah, 5 years before I met her. I was praying one night, and I'm just like, you know, all my friends had, like, you know, girls, and I was just in a different place, and I wanted to kind of, you know, just not make the same decisions, because I realized a lot of these guys were like, you know, 2 kids in, you know, and different women.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like,
At 24?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, no, one
Yeah.
was in high school, you know,
Jesus.
and he, you know, he's good guy. Just he has a daughter he hasn't seen for like 20-something plus years.
I can't imagine.
Breaks my heart.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to go down that road, you know, and I thought, you know, my parents divorced when I was young, and so I had to live through that.
Yeah.
And that sucked. And I thought, if I ever get married, it's like, you know, they say cheaper to keep her. I'm like, I'm not even going to have to get to that stage, because we just love each other. You know what I mean? And we're passionately in love. And so when I, you know, prayed that day, it was just like a split second, maybe 2-3 seconds of just a glimpse of this woman that I seen. And I realized that, and this is a real true story. This is not, like, I literally had a vision of her 5 years prior to meeting her at the 24 Hour Fitness that I worked at.
That's incredible.
And so when I did meet her, I was like, oh my God, same clothes, same hair, same everything.
Dude, I'm getting chills. That's
That was the epitome of, like, you know, Ryan Branco has met his woman to be, you know?
Yeah.
And so,
But the other thing is that he said, I will not go to her. He will have to come to me.
Yeah.
So I come here, and I am crazy for this guy. Like, it was unheard of. Like, I don't know. It had to be God, something predestined.
For sure. It's the angels, like, literally, like, being like, this is, like,
alignment.
he saw you.
yeah.
And then this is like them bringing, you know, you over and
Correct.
and showing you each other. And then from there, it's up to you guys. That's the thing. Like there's a point where you could have went and got a drink of water that day.
That's it.
Out of the water fountain
Yeah.
and missed her.
Yeah.
You know,
like that.
just you missed your sister by a week. You said, you know, a week later you took a vacation that day. Like, it's just those little split things that are just they put in you. The opportunity, just like life, is just in front of you.
Yeah.
And if you can see the signs,
Yeah.
if you pray hard enough, if you do, you know, whether, and this is not a religious podcast
yeah,
or anything, so it's
no.
whether if you believe in God or you believe in a higher being or
Right.
anything that's just, you know, look at the signs.
Yeah.
Be aware of the signs and see it. That's amazing. I want to go really quick back to your mentor.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about this on other podcasts recently, because it's funny that you say that the mentor wasn't a family member. The mentor was not your parents. And I think that's what's going wrong with society today, is that there's people out there that aren't being good mentors for the younger generation.
That's correct.
So if you listen to your parents, like, listen to their story, because I had the same thing. I had those mentors that you just, like, you're lost.
Yeah.
You're not going to go to your parents. You're 20, you're 24, you're like, you're not even around your parents anymore. This is out in life. And then that one guy just showed you, he opened your eyes.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything other than just open your eyes, and you latched on. And those are the people we need in our lives that will help you.
They're courageous enough to just say, hey, you know, they're gonna be bold to speak what they believe.
Right.
And we live in an age where, you know,
Yeah.
people, they are bold to speak what they believe, whether it's right or wrong.
Right.
And some are so deceived they believe that what they believe is completely right, and it's like you're off the wall crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, I honor you for your passion and your belief.
Right.
But what it comes down to is just, you know, I believe that everybody was put here for a reason, and we were all a part of something. So I'm, you know, not to make it a religious broadcast,
okay.
but it's the reality is, hey, you know what? I have a walk that has proven experience
Yeah.
that there is someone else looking out for me.
Right.
And they have absolutely given me guidance. They have absolutely showed me the way. And there's times where I'm like, you know, feeling as if like I don't know the way, but I know that they do know. And as long as I put my faith and trust in that,
Right.
then it's like it all can work out, you know. And I'm not in any ways a genius. I mean, not a billionaire yet anyways, but I look at it like, hey, if I can trust and believe that I could get there, then you know what? Maybe one day I will.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he did bring me across the country, you know, in a U-Haul, 30-foot U-Haul, you know, with someone else's stuff.
Right.
That basically, to digress, you know, to that story, it was someone else's stuff that I moved because that 3 weeks, it was supposed to be 3 months, was someone else that needed to move their things from Perrysburg, Ohio.
Oh, it wasn't even you ready
It wasn't
yet.
even me.
It was just like, hey, I'm going to do him with buddy, a friend.
Yeah,
or a friend.
and my friend Phil, who lives out here, he's like, hey, this guy of mine, he's a friend of mine. I used to train him. He was a trainer, and he kind of inspired me to train back in Ohio. And he said, hey, he needs to move his stuff out here. And so I'll help him. You know, why not? So what was going to take 3 months took 3 weeks because then I ended up moving his things. And he's like, yeah, just put your stuff in with mine, and we'll just, you know. And so and I didn't realize how complicated that actually could be until I started driving across the United States of America in a 32-foot U-Haul. Was like, and that was an experience because I went to my brother's first in Nashville, and he had just had his first child, my niece, and it was like, oh my God, it was like, oh cool, I get to see my niece, you know, and then he was in like this beautiful spot right next to the Grand Ole Opry Hotel, and so I went to see him, but I didn't want to leave. I was there for like 4 days debating, do I do this or not? Do I leave? And he's like, hey man, are you gonna leave? I was like, you know, I was like, dude, I'm here to see Brianna, you know, my niece. And so he's like, yeah, but just, do it and see what you like. I was like, you know, I think I'll go. So I got on the 40, man, and boom, I headed west. And it was just me and the road.
You haven't looked back?
No.
Yeah.
22 and a half hours later, I ended up in Amarillo, Texas.
Yeah.
Tired as all get out.
I feel like that's where we all stop. Somewhere in Texas. Somewhere in Texas.
Yeah, you know,
That's where you stop.
The panhandle somewhere.
Yeah.
But, you know, I freaked out, and I called my friend, Matt Whalen, and I was like, I'm in Oklahoma City, man. I don't know where I'm at. I'm like, you know, it was just a weird experience. And, you know, he's like, just keep going, man. Just keep going, you know, and kind of encouraged me a little bit. And then I just kept going, you know, and I ended up here. And it was just like a new chapter for my life, you know, and that's when I realized, okay, this is the beginning of Ryan Branco in his 20s. You know, I'm 46 now, but it was like, wow, you know, I got to at least make that trek to change my life and change the course of my life. And I'm by no means where I know I'm going to be.
Right.
It's just cool that I got to experience that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
well, a lot of people don't do it until they either have a partner or, you know, someone to do it with. I didn't move. I mean, my wife and I are both from Arizona, and we didn't move until we had a kid, and then like, oh, let's move to Dallas, and then move to California, and just because that's where everything got us moved. But to do it on your own at that age is like, it's like you said, you look at Texas, you're like, I'm scared. Like, what do I turn back? Like, at what point do you? I
actually thought that.
Do I fill up and go the other way, or do you stop at those gas stations that are just,
Yeah. It was also a truck that was leaking diesel fuel the whole way, and I found this out because my truck broke down in New Mexico, Albuquerque.
Yeah. And
luckily they came out and started fixing it, but it took like 4 hours out of my time, you know, and they're all, oh man, you've been leaking since Tennessee. I was like, jeez. So I didn't know this. So, you know, it was like $300-400 of gas, just fuel, just wasted, you know. Oof. But I would never change that for the life of me. I got to sleep in that truck, you know. I had to sleep in it one night because I thought I'm going to keep going, you know. And like 24-year-old bold guy, right?
Yeah.
I end up in Santa Fe, and there's like no hotels. It's like crickets and stars.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're like
You see the
sleeping
sky, and it's beautiful, but
You're sleeping in your truck
sleeping in your
tonight, bro.
truck.
So I was like, okay. And I woke up at 4:30. I'm like, okay, hit the road because it was freezing there.
What was the best night's sleep you had? Because you're high on gas fumes.
Yeah,
From it leaking.
Yeah, diesel fuel.
You're out. You're
Right?
passed out. You're like,
I'm
that's
done.
good.
But so it was unique, and I remember pulling into California through Yuma,
Yeah.
and I don't speak Spanish, at that time. I do now.
Do you now?
And now I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I would say I'm fluent enough to like, I can get through Mexico. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I
that's
can
what
do
you
my
need.
thing.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
And I've closed business in Spanish, so I think I'm pretty qualified, right, honey? You agree? Okay. All right. She's gonna approve me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I pull in Yuma, and this guy starts speaking Spanish to me, and I mean, I didn't even look at his badge. It's a U.S. Border Patrol, and I was just like nervous. And there's a spot in Yuma where you're right next to the border, and he's asking me like in Spanish, where are you going, and and I don't understand a thing he's saying. I'm like, no, I'm
Now
United
he's
States.
tan, but imagine him coming from Ohio. He was
100%. You're like,
white.
wait, so you weren't on the border though? You weren't like going
No,
into
I was in
Mexico.
Yuma going
you were
into California.
Yeah, that's interesting that he would look at you and be like,
Well, he
start to
started
speak
speaking Spanish because they like to screw with people.
Oh,
So-
that's true.
and it was like, it's this white guy. Let's just mess with him,
Yeah. Oh, so you're like, I just drove this, 800 miles. What are you talking about? I'm already in the wrong
Am I in
country.
Mexico?
Hey, hombre, ¿dónde va? He was like, no. I was like, no. He's like, I'm going to California, San Diego. And he was like, ¿qué?
Oh,
He's like, I'm just messing with you, bro. I need to see the
that's
back
hilarious.
of the truck.
Was that the first experience you've had with a border
Yes.
patrol agent?
Yeah.
That's funny.
At that moment, I was like, oh, man, yeah, dude, just open it up, bro. Go look. I'm like, I'm going to San Diego.
Yeah.
So they're thinking I have like people in the back of the truck, whatever. They open it up,
Yeah.
they see a bunch of like mattresses and all this crap. And that's when I passed through and I realized, yeah, I'm here, and I arrived.
You smell the salt air, and you're just like, it's a different smell. I don't
How's
have that
it-
smell anymore. I can't smell it anymore, but I know that smell is just like, oh, I'm in California.
Well, out there, it's more like different when you're in Yuma because then you pass by Glammies and all that dirt. And that was stuff that my friends and
it's
I
not
in
until
high
you
school-
get closer
not
to
till
the
you
ocean.
get through but I got to that point where my friends and I dreamed of going to Glammies and riding our quads and our three-wheelers, and so it was just like, wow, I'm actually living the dream.
Yeah.
I'm not here yet, but I'm here, So it was a trek, but it was something that I knew I had to do in order to get me to where I was supposed to go. And I didn't know I was going to do real estate. Honestly, I got into personal training. I thought it was going to be like my thing, fitness. I love fitness. I still work out. In fact, I still work out at the gym.
Yeah, that's
You know?
that's the only reason I know you. Yeah, you guys, because you took your sons there, and
Right.
By the way, you have a beautiful family.
Thank you.
3 kids. Let's
Thank
get
you.
to that real quick.
Yeah.
15,
Yes, 13,
13,
and 12.
your 12-year-old daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just gonna say that dancing, because my daughter used to dance too, but she looks way older than 12 when she gets, because they put on all the makeup, and
Yeah.
you're like, that's not my daughter anymore. That's like my little girl. It's like, yeah,
They turn into a professional. Professionista.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
we are so proud.
3
of them.
beautiful kids. Both boys play football and track.
In track.
Yes.
Well, my oldest is in track because of Mater Day where he goes to school.
Oh, nice.
And so he's in track. My son David, he's still, which is David in English.
Yes.
We're just accustomed to the Spanish version.
Yeah, I love it.
At this point. But he's finishing up middle school, and he did play league football, and they did very well in their season. And now he's going to step into the freshman year and at Mater Day, who just won their second state title. So
Congratulations. That's
Ryan
amazing.
got actually, my son Ryan, who's the oldest, he got moved up to varsity.
Yeah.
So he was able to play and go to the games, in the varsity games when they just played this past year.
Yeah.
So he gets a ring and everything.
Dude, that's amazing.
Freshman,
That's cool. And he just won a record in the 100-meter dash.
100 meter, yeah.
That's awesome.
Which he's like, I'm going to beat it this meet, Dad. I'm going faster. All right, you can do it, son.
Good for him.
Yeah.
God, I love those times. And then your daughter dances.
Yeah.
You gotta talk about all your kids, because there was one podcast that I did, and he was like pissed off because they went
didn't
back
say
and
nothing about his kid?
He said one about one kid, and he has 2 other kids, and they all watch the podcast together. He's like, "Oh, you didn't say anything about me." So.
No, we are
But
super proud of it.
I know. So your daughter just took second in her first competition
First.
in ballet.
Yeah.
Oh, she took first?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
well,
okay.
the recent one she did, she took first in the one that you just went to.
Oh, she just went to.
But her
go to one.
first one ever that she ever did,
Yeah.
she danced a routine called Don Quixote, and she did amazing. And she actually didn't think about it, but there were 700 competitors.
Yeah, it's huge. Those dance competitions.
And
are,
she's 11 or 10 at the time, right? She was
11.
11. And she got second place out of all,
That's
like
incredible.
overall.
Yeah.
It was the cutest moment because we were there, but the teacher prepared her. Like, there are so many competitors, and we don't know what the judges
And
like.
she's individual.
Yes. in
There's
the
a lot
solo,
of group
yes,
competitions too, but solo,
yes.
that's yeah.
Yes. Oh, usually the solos compete only
They
for the
only
solos
for solo.
and
Okay,
the
good.
groups for
Yeah.
small groups and large groups. So the teacher prepared her like, Amor, we are just here to have fun. Like,
Yeah.
don't expect to place because there are so many competitors. Just go have fun, see what this is about.
Yeah.
So she was just sitting
Just
and
having a good
relaxing, waiting for the nominations, just wanting to clap for everyone. So when in this competition they put her music for the second place, she was like, "Oh, there is
I
another
danced to that.
one." Yes.
I danced to that
and
one.
then they say her name, and she's like, "It's me." It's
It's
me.
me.
So you can
God.
see her little face, like all surprised, and we were like, that was my first time seeing this beautiful girl dancing, and I was like, is that my daughter? Like,
Did you dance?
I didn't dance.
You never
I
danced?
always wish I could
Yeah.
dance, but I had two left foot, so no, it wasn't
Oh.
possible. But
You do not have two left feet.
Not in her level.
right?
She's
It's-
Like,
yeah,
she's
beautiful.
so
she could-
modest.
yeah.
My God, this lady.
she's beautiful. And our second son, David, he's just very athletic. I think we owe their dedication and everything they
yeah.
do is with so much passion. They started doing Taekwondo when they were very, very tiny.
I think that's huge. That's amazing.
Yes.
Coordination, respect, like just the
Discipline.
discipline, like yeah.
Yes. So we had a motto, like, no matter how tired they were, no matter if they didn't eat, their head hurt, they had a call, they had to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will put a
Committed to
$50 bill into the trash can, and I will tell them, I will put the bill in the trash can, and I will tell them, this is what you make me do with my money when you miss a class.
Wow.
So they were like, no, mommy, I don't want you to lose your money.
She
So
was a
they will-
manipulator.
That's amazing. I miss this culture because I'm Hispanic as well. So like, there's definitely that like
Wow.
driven, like is that culture, and Hispanic Spanish women are just the toughest women out there. They'll love you to
Heartless.
death, but you are on. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So they are very disciplined.
that's
Like,
amazing.
they put their own clocks and alarms to go to sleep. Like,
yeah. One kid, David,
we are
he'll wake
super
up in
proud
the
of
morning
them.
by himself. He's completely on point. My son Ryan, he's the older one, and he can do it. He just likes it when other people cater to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I can't say he's not like his daddy. So.
Yeah, there you go. The first one's to the first one. Well,
Yeah.
it's the Ryan. It's
His
the
daddy's
junior.
voice
He's
for
junior.
sure.
He's
No,
junior.
Ryan's he's the junior, but he's like he's a spitting image of me.
Yeah,
in
that's-
many
yeah.
ways.
That's
My
funny.
daughter, she's like super independent. Like I don't, have to. There's nothing we have to really do. She's
Yeah.
got everything under control.
She's automatic.
Yeah, she's automatic.
Now, how's that relationship with you? Okay, because I'm going through this with my wife too,
Okay.
and my daughter. She's 12 as well. So how's that relationship right now? Does she giving you attitude, or is anything
you know what? Her name is Amor,
love?
love.
Yeah.
So everything she does is just, it's a very sweet girl. She's a
Oh,
very
that's
sweet
good.
girl.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that I am having a hard time with is coordinating my mind with, she's not my little girl anymore.
Yeah.
She's growing up. So she's so kind and sweet and smart that she just makes me more and more proud every day.
Yeah.
And she loves spending time with me. She's been homeschooled. The boys are not anymore, but she's homeschooled.
Yeah.
So while I am working, she's doing her schoolwork. So it gives us a lot of time to be together, and she thinks like a big girl. So
Yeah.
it's very easy to have a friend that is not being so penetrated by the influences of their friends.
I think that's what it is too. Yeah, especially when you go through those changes into a womanhood. That if you're around other girls like that too, you bring home the attitude and the it's just
in a
so
big way.
Yeah,
she's done that a lot.
So when you guys started, did you have kids when you started real estate?
No.
Did you always do real estate together?
Yes.
Well, I was in loans. I did loans first, and then I got my license thereafter. But I had to stop the licensing process at first because we got married, and I went down to Mexico. We got married in Mexico, in Mazatlan, and then I decided, okay, I'm going to come back, finish that up, and then she's going to work with me. And that's kind of how we began.
Yeah.
And so we started off, and we had just, did whatever we could together, and just started working in the business, and it started to come together. And I'll be honest with you, there was one point I was trying to take a management position at 24 Hour Fitness because I thought, maybe I'll just kind of do this on the side.
So you were still doing?
No, I had went full time into the loans, but it was just like, there was one point when I got married, I was just thinking, okay, maybe I need to bring some stable income and, and so I tried to get back into that realm, and she just wasn't having it. She literally one day just went up to some random ladies at the gym because we worked out together, and she just started talking to them and turned into a client and turned into multiple referrals and repeat business, and so we're not doing we're going to stick to this,
That's amazing.
Going. And that's kind of how everything, because of her faith, she had the faith to believe, that we can do this.
Yeah.
Even when it seemed like we couldn't at some point, for me.
I totally understand
and
that.
I built into that, and then I was just like, you know what?
And then we were not together when we were engaged. So for me to be with him all day was just perfect. Like, I want to go out with you. I want to go and eat with you, be in the office all day until midnight or 2 in the morning together, eating protein bars in the office. So we love the whole process because that was really our friendship and
growth phase.
Time.
It was a growth phase for us. And then when I'd work really, really hard, there was times we worked till midnight in the office. It was like stupid. We had people that were not very reliable to help us, and we had to do extra stuff. And we go out to dinner, and hang out. Yeah. So it worked out really well.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you guys you've grown together through the business, which is amazing. And now you've started your own business.
Yes.
Your own company.
Yes, our own company, Valus Realty, which we can explain the name, but we started off as Branco Group.
Right.
And Branco Group, just quite simply put, is us.
Right.
And whoever partnered up with us, and that's a team name when you're under a brokerage, where now we're a boutique brokerage, and we wanted to kind of swing things in a different way in terms of our name. And we were thinking about what is our values, and what could we do or say about us.
Yeah.
And we were thinking of different words, and valorant, there was many words that kind of value, and many things popped into our mind to where we thought, valiant, and we thought, hey, you know what, let's just make up a name. And I think one day it just came about. We were thinking of value us and value, and then Valus. It kind of just came together. But
that's
then
very cool.
Somebody gave us a hint with a lion, and I thought, that kind of represents the icon of we're bold, courageous,
right?
The crown, kingly, and a shield. We're protectors, and we value our clients, and we want to make sure that they know that we're always going to be there for them, and we'll always make sure that they have the absolute best treatment no matter what happens.
Yeah.
And so all of those things kind of came together. It took about 3 months to honestly figure that out. It wasn't easy.
Right. It never is. You're starting a new brand.
Yeah. And so I think the lion factor really helped tie that together, because I realized, we're bold as a lion. We're courageous, and we believe that our presence is something that is meant to be bold,
right?
And outstanding. And so we figured, this makes sense. We stuck with it. So, yeah, that's kind of how that came about.
Now, how do you guys work? Okay, so I love the brand, by the way. I looked it up. It's a gorgeous how the marketing came together. So
Thank you.
You developed that all on your own.
All on our own. Yeah.
That's so incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I mean, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are already launching it. It's already out there, and the brand's there and stuff. So how do you guys maintain? So we we're going to talk about a little bit of the hustle here. Being a couple or being, husband and wife group, but also having kids, because I understand, like my wife, she's an agent.
Right.
I do the escrow side too. But however, even though we're in two different industries, we can work, separately. Like we have the kids. She goes, I'm in a podcast right now. She takes care of the kids.
Yeah.
Like you guys are doing your thing. So how do you maintain and kind of prioritize the business and then also the aspect of family as well? Like how do you?
Well, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And she's handling a lot of things in that realm. So if I was to give my hat off to my wife, it would be definitely to honor her in the sense that she's the one that helps us to make the family a home.
Yeah.
In fact, I was spoken over her one time, you're going to make your house a home. And so I bring strength and protection. And, so with her being able to bring the loving warmness to the family side, we just, we learn our roles and we do our best to play our best at those roles.
Yes, I think we are very defining what our strengths are, and for me, it's been very clear. Like he is the rainmaker in the business, like the responsibility of having the clients and all the help that we need to provide and be provided with. It's on his side, right? And people in the industry knows that he's the main person, but everything in the background I handle. So. I am sure that he is seen as the superstar that he is, and I will take care of the rest, even with the children, to honor everything that his father.
Yeah,
she's a real superstar, though. She's
the
one.
I know.
Yeah,
but and that's great because you do need that support group. For as a team, you need that support. Like you know your roles and you know what you are best at. As much as you're putting it off on him. Girl, you do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he's trying to say.
She gave birth
is
to our
like,
children. Not me.
Exactly. Like so, that's why I love women in this industry and in business and stuff, because to take care of a household, never discourage yourself from doing that. I was a house dad for a long time. Because my wife went out and did the stuff, and I made sure. And so like for a while, I thought, oh man, as a man, being at home and not providing, but taking care of your kid is more than you really think.
Correct.
You understand.
Like it's very valuable. I mean, because we talked about mentors and stuff like that. Like it's what you do is just and then to also to come home and to be there for your husband and for the business as well is just incredible.
Yes,
so
to show love for our clients. To the future love for our clients too, because it's easy to get a client. It's harder to maintain them.
100%.
It takes more in the following years for them to know that we will always be there, that anything they may need, they have to come back to us. So all of that, I make sure that is in place with everything.
Right. We talked about this before. It's not transactional, because transactional people can be replaced.
Right.
It's relationship.
Relationship.
It's to keep
relational.
Relational to keep those relationships.
And many of our best friends are our clients.
Mm-hmm.
That we have
that's
met
amazing.
in open house.
Open
houses, our neighbors, like people that have been wanting to move with us to the next house. It's an amazing business what we do, and we are very grateful.
We love it.
We do.
It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
It doesn't feel like work for us. It's like I'm helping people's dreams become a reality. And when you I have a client right now. They're about to sell their home again. And in 2 years, had made $500,000.
Yes.
In 2 years.
Other investment
I'm like,
can make you.
Your 401k hasn't done that for you.
Right.
Yes.
Your TSP hasn't done that for you.
Yes.
I'm like, you have over $500,000 sitting in here waiting for you.
Yeah.
Let's go get another home and buy an investment property too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, to us, it's a dream life. I get it. We can hire a team and have all the best people working admin wise and become free of the administrative things, which is great because you can learn those things and build them, and we have. But what I'm saying is being able to help people that way and be able to give back in that way and help them to, be inspired to feel like, hey, look, this is just the beginning. And if you want to do more, you can.
Yeah.
And you're like right there at that part of their life to help them.
Right.
Or when you got a military client who absolutely is not using his, active duty military money called BAH.
We will meet them today.
Yeah. We have, clients that like, are you kidding me? Do you realize that's an investment you're not getting any return on?
Yeah.
And so you educate them, and then they turn into a full-blown client and a forever client, and they're just super happy. Right. And one client in particular, I remember his first home only made $12,000, paid off his minivan.
Yeah.
Only to take and move them into a 3,100 square foot home out in Hamul, and give them 7 acres of land,
Yeah.
That was $790,000. Now it's worth 1.4.
Jeez.
And that was all within 3 years. We're changing people's lives. And so to be able to do that and be in this industry and know that you're a big ticket item, helping people with a big ticket item that you can really change their lives financially, give them the right guidance. Yes. I mean, this is a business that is a necessity.
Yes.
100%.
And sometimes we don't acknowledge the responsibility that we have on us, because many times we have to believe for our clients that they can make it happen. Yeah. And sometimes these people come with a background of not being homeowners in the bloodline. So never their parents, their grandparents never were homeowners. And now for them, it's like, I cannot be a homeowner either. So you have
they don't think about it because they've never seen it happen before. You're right.
Yeah, so the privilege to see that, like, oh, wow, I have my first home is just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And with our children, they have grown up seeing these kind of miracles, people being so grateful to us, clients giving us a beautiful, one of our clients just gave us the flag that they flown in Iraq.
Jeez.
Yeah, that one in Hamul I told you about. Yeah. They literally honored us with their flag that they had when they were stationed in Iraq on deployment.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
What we do is really a work that only the people that can recognize how important this is for people can do and can do great things and be grateful for these great things that we get to do.
Yeah. As you said, this industry is a necessity. Mm-hmm. It's not just the industry; it's the people in this industry, like the agents. Yeah. This has been discussed since technology's come out, Redfin, Zillow, and stuff like that. Like the agent gone. Right. No, this is living proof. This show right here is why
we're not going
we
away.
Humanize. And I mean, it's not transactional. No. It is all about relationships, and this is why I absolutely love sitting down with couples like you, with real estate agents, and just because AI can't replace this.
Yes.
Never will.
This feeling right now that I'm feeling in this room, like it's just, you can't replace this. And so that first time, like you brought up some great points about like those people who never grew up in a house that they owned.
Correct.
Are owning their house for the first time. That gives chills. That's crazy.
Joy, yes. And they are not on like our military clients in Paradise Valley. They own 5 homes now. Yeah. And it was so hard to own the first one. Yeah. Right. And now they are investors of 5 other homes.
Now anybody can Google. That's what's even better. Like anybody can Google like, veterans and help them out. But you need the right people.
Correct.
Get out of Google it's great and technology is great and stuff. Yeah. You can start with that information there. Right. If you want to start with something, go look at Redfin, go look at those houses you want. Right. Start there, find the right people. Right. Like you two. Find the right team.
Right.
Yes.
And they will take you the rest of the way. Yeah. They will make sure that is the correct information you're getting. They will make sure that's relevant, that's, to the time.
Yes.
So, I don't think we're going anywhere.
No. They'll walk you through the process, guide you, and encourage you when you're down and help you to think, positive instead of negative, because that, it's a culturistic thing. People, get negative. They don't have a lot of faith. They don't believe. And then you come along and you're like, no, it can work, you know?
Yes, and sometimes we have to fight for them. Like we had a client that he's just so grateful that he can have a home finally here in San Diego, that he's like, oh no, I'm fine with my interest rate. And Ryan is like, no, let me talk to the lender because I know the interest rate just went down and probably you can get 0.25% less. Let's wait. Yeah. No, let's close right now. Nope.
No.
Let's do it the right way.
And we did. We got it knocked down 0.25% because I asked.
Yes.
And that's what good agents do. They ask, like, hey, man, I know the rates just dropped today. Yeah. Where are you at today on your rate sheet? Where's the things? If you're locked in, can you readjust this, you know? And, I mean, that's a $300 a month savings for that guy.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Or I have another one. One time, this client wanted the house so much, so many offers in the house, and they had to sell their first home in order to buy the next one. And a friend of theirs wanted their first home, and then they said, oh, we will give you this much for this property. And then he called my husband and he said, oh, this is this friend, they can pay this much for this house, let's do it. And Ryan is like, no, we haven't even put the home in the market.
Yeah.
Give me 3 more days and I'm sure I can get you $50,000 more for your home. And it was in a time where we were not used to see $100,000 above asking price, right? You really had to fight for that original price. And then we put the house in the market and he gets them $50,000 more or $55,000 more 3 days after. And they are so happy. We close on both houses. And then like a few days later, he loses his job. And then he's so grateful. Like
that he has that money in his,
Yeah. So
and the thing was, he broke his leg, so he was out of work, and then he loses his job. The wife was just beginning her new business, and so it all worked out. They moved into the new home. She was able to take over. He was able to watch the girl, and that extra $50,000 was what carried them over. You know, because they didn't owe much on their mortgage.
Yeah.
So it literally helped them out. You know, and I'm like, well, what do you think of that $50,000 now?
They will never forget those.
They will never.
He's never going to forget that.
He'll never forget that.
Never.
So we have helped them to buy.
So people out there, stop trying to sell your own house. Yeah. Find the Branco group. At Valus and
Valus
get
Realty.
going. Call them up and get it going. Well, we've been talking for how long was this, Tony? About
an hour.
An hour.
Oh, wow.
Hour and a half. Hour and 20 minutes is about.
Yeah. An hour and 10 minutes.
Hour and 10 minutes.
You make this so easy.
No, this is all about you guys. This has been amazing. So a few last questions. I'd like to finish with a little fun game too.
Okay.
But where are you guys headed? That's what I want to know. Kind of like what's next for you. Where is the group going? The team? Like, are you looking to
expand?
To grow?
Yeah. I mean, eventually kids will be involved. You know, but right now the idea is, you know, we had a group of 12 at one point, and you know, it was good times. We had some good times, but there was a lot of learning that I had to do. You know, as a leader, and so where we want to go now is, you know, develop our base, you know, and get our base shop moving forward and have that where, you know, it's administratively capable to go the extra mile with or without buyer's agents, you know. But that's going to be a necessity where we are going to need them, and we'll train them our way, you know. Our company has like the most ridiculous training modules, and so, you know, to have standard operation procedures in place and have videos and ways to help people, we know we can scale.
Yeah.
So we have that at our fingertips, and we want to utilize that. We have Tom Ferry as our coach, and we're like, you know, it is to grow. It is to scale up. Obviously, our goal is to get into the hundreds of millions, you know, in production, but not just be average in terms of home prices, median home price, but also luxury as well.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that we definitely aspire to continue to grow in, and at the same time help our agents to grow in terms of just the market, the medium market as well, and continue to grow and teach them and build a culture, you know, where people are helping people to, you know, achieve their dreams of real estate and achieve financial freedom through real estate, not just by buying a home, but homes, you know, financial wealth. And and kind of take it to the next level that way. However that looks in the next 5 years, I know that it's going to be good, but it's going to be something that we did slow and controlled.
Right.
You know, with the right folks.
You have to find the right folks.
The right folks. Absolutely.
Well, you know what? You guys, you know, we talk about mentors. You're going to make great mentors either way.
Thank you.
So I'm incredible. It's going to be incredible to see your guys grow. Your brand is on point. It's
Thank
a
you.
very luxurious brand out there. So yeah, I think you're going to grow in that fashion as well.
Thank you.
You talked about kids. Are you going to get your kids involved into real estate?
Why not?
Yeah. Or have you talked college with them first, or are you just going to think about
They're all about college right now.
They
These
are
guys
about
know
college.
more about college than I know about college. I mean, you know, I have enough for a 4-year degree, but they're talking about D1 scholarships, football.
Hey, if they go that way, that's amazing.
It is. And
know?
I will embrace it 100,000%. I'm saying,
Yeah.
but you're still going to get a real estate license.
Yeah, right.
And you're still going to work with
That's
mom
smart.
and pops, you know,
Yeah.
but you're going to be able to do this whether you're here or there. But I just want you to, you know that, you know, you love football and you want to go pro. That's great, but it doesn't necessarily mean that could always be there.
Right.
You know, things can change.
Yeah.
And so when they do change, you want to be ready for it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, mom and dad will always be here, but we're going to teach you now, you know, because there's a proverb that says, you know, train a child in the way that he should go. So when he's older, he will not depart from it.
Right.
So if you get them trained up right now in the right way, when they're older, they'll make smarter decisions because they have better understanding.
Right.
And so we're going to provide that understanding.
That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah. You're setting them up for success.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what you want for your kids, for one thing. And you're
Amen.
being honest with them, because it
Yeah.
really is true. Like, you think about, like, there's a lot of schools out there for sure.
Yeah.
You don't have to play D1 just to let them know that
Oh,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
too. Like,
No, you can go D2, D3.
D2 and still get a great
Still get a full
education.
scholarship.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I was telling you earlier that I used to coach volleyball, and I still coach volleyball, but you tell these players, like, go somewhere you're going to like.
Yeah.
Because you don't know, like, injuries can happen.
Yes.
You want to finish school there, like, finish school there. You don't want to
Right.
go somewhere just for the sports as well. You got to go
Correct.
there for the education, the people around you.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
you find your wife there, you find your husband there,
Yeah.
you find your best friends there. You know, you find different things
Right.
at college. So
Yeah.
it's very cool to.
Yeah. No,
get there.
and you don't know where that'll take you. It's like, hey, if you end up at a D3 college, man, and you're totally happy and it's a beautiful place, and, you know, we're going to embrace it.
Yeah.
And we're going to help you, you know. In fact, their coach right now is a mentor that helps them, works out. He's all like, look, it doesn't always have to be D1. He's like, you might get a full ride scholarship to a D2 school
Right.
or a D3. Either way, it's enjoying the process, know yourself, and know where you're going to go.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that you stay in San Diego.
Of course.
Oh, Mom. Yeah.
Yeah. I
My son Ryan wants to go to Ohio State, where I'm from. So
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
you know, Dad, I'm moving back to Ohio. I'm like, all right.
Well, that was your fault.
Like,
taking
we
him to
put
high
in their
school
heads,
game there. Yeah.
you are going to Harvard. You are going to Harvard. But now that I am seeing it like 3 years away, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Well, have you
Have
taken him
to
to like a
stay.
UCLA game or a USC game,
Not yet,
Stanford game?
but
Okay.
that will
You
happen.
gotta let them see the stadiums
Yes.
here too, because when you go
Yes.
down to the Midwest and the
Yeah.
like, it is different down there.
Yeah.
They take their sports seriously.
Serious, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I get why you want to go to school there if you've been to only a game there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But right now they're at that transitional, you know, Ryan's going to be 16 and he's going to be
He's there,
driving.
man,
So it's happening, but we love every bit of the process.
Yeah.
And I want to enjoy every minute of it and soak it
You
up.
should.
And so that's what we're doing. We're just taking life one day at a time, enjoying the process, enjoying each other's company, and enjoying our company, you know, together, and having a blast.
Yeah.
You know, with great people like yourselves.
Well, I appreciate
You know,
it.
Courtney,
And
and Tanya, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
Casey, who I don't really know, but I think he's a stud. Like this guy, goodness gracious,
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
He's
Yeah.
bringing people together, man.
He is.
you
He's
know,
doing it
like
right.
this is outside of real estate. Like, we could have talked real estate. You guys could have talked numbers and stuff like that. That's why I talk to Tony about this all the time. It's like, well, I could direct my questions a different way, but it's not about me, or it's not about like,
Right.
and everybody's putting out the market today
Right.
and what's going on. I want to
Right.
know about you two and where you're coming from, and people need to hear this.
Yeah.
To have such love and compassion for this, not only this industry, but for each other and how you guys do it. You're doing it right.
Right.
It took you time to do it. Don't
Yeah.
think you can do it right from the start,
Correct.
right?
Correct. Yeah.
It's
It
just-
doesn't happen right away.
It doesn't
like
happen
that,
right
no.
away.
Sometimes he
Process.
does make it about himself, though. But
Never about myself.
No, we were just at our coaching event
Yeah.
last week, and we were able to be one of the testimonies speakers there. And the conversation went into how broke we were when we started the business and how we struggled to make our business go up and much of our struggle. And it turned out that a lot of people wanted to do coaching afterwards because they were they were so relatable. We think that the people that go up in stage had it all together from the beginning.
No,
you don't see
never.
how messy that can be in the beginning. How
it's a bunch of scribbles, man, and then you get a straight line here and there.
Yeah.
So that part of no, we have to make it work one way or another. But when you have your goal set into one thing, you are going there, no matter what happens in the way. And we know that God is first, our family second, our clients come next. Nothing can go wrong when we have that in mind. We will make it happen no matter what.
That's amazing.
Yeah, faith is everything.
Yeah. There's
Faith
too
is
much
everything.
bad stuff going on out there, so to not to bring it home and to have that faith in your house and to the love that you have in the house is what you gotta.
And I think people don't
moment.
honor love as much as they should, and I think people just dishonor love because they think life is about convenience. And I'm like, if that was the case, you'd probably change your mind if you had a moment where you really just enjoyed something, or if you thought back about a moment, where you really had love for something, and you would just like embrace it. Yeah. Well, because it's to be cherished. And if you don't cherish, life's great moments, then how are you going to enjoy life? Yeah.
Well, it goes back to technology too. Technology has been great in this industry. It helps out a lot. It helps mainstream a lot of stuff. Yes. Same with life. It's American way. Yeah. We want stuff. We want self-gratification right now. We want things faster. We want, we don't slow down. So love now is on your phone. Like it's kind of like, right?
How terrible.
Nobody knows the old-fashioned way of calling or waiting 4 hours to show up because you don't have a phone to call somebody,
or waiting 5 years to meet the right
or
person.
Waiting, making those phone. I don't think I almost want my son or my daughter to call, whoever they like, on a phone. But I want their dad or somebody to answer. Do you remember having to get through the dad to get to the person that you want to really talk to?
I don't know about the dad, but I spoke to her sister first.
Oh, that's funny.
And I didn't even know it was her.
Yeah.
And I was asking her, she's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, we could cook some steaks on my grill here at the
my sister answered the phone because I didn't speak English. So it was my sister acting like me, setting it up.
Because they sound identical. It's like, I prefer a neutral place. I'm like, I felt like Chris Farley. I was like, you idiot. What are you doing? Oh, okay.
You're trying to get her back to your place already.
But that wasn't my intention.
No, I know.
It truly wasn't. It was just like, I didn't know what to do. And so that came out, and I was like, you idiot. What did you say that for? So, like, you want to go to Chili's? Chili's, bro.
But it's funny because it's not a text or like a swipe right or anything, and then it was a phone call. Yeah, you gotta have the guts to call. That's the true love is getting through that phone call. That first phone call, man. It's feel the guts. Like a text, you can just be like.
But you know what? What's cool is like he knew. Like he had that vision, so he was like, "Oh, this is it."
Yeah,
I don't want to waste my time anymore.
It is what it is, but I know what I know. But I didn't know it was his sister until we got married, and she's like, "Oh, that was me on the phone." I'm like, "Oh, Jesus."
That's amazing.
So she didn't tell me either. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for your story
and
your journey and everything.
Yeah,
I love it. I love how you guys got together and how you got here. And I just want to finish with a few things. Finish the sentence.
Yeah.
So we'll start here. I laugh when. Finish that sentence. I laugh when.
I laugh when I make stupid jokes.
Are you a dad joke guy?
I'm a dad joke guy, man. My dad was that way, and I'm like, and I even say it was like dad joke, and my kids were just looking at me like, no.
Yeah. Do you laugh at his jokes?
Yes.
Is that when you laugh?
She backs me up no matter what.
That's amazing. Yes. All right. I would die without
my wife.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Same.
The
husband. Yeah. I know it's cliche, but it's the truth. It's it's so funny that people would think it's too much cliche. And
no.
If you have true love, you truly know. Like we're like The Notebook, bro. Like that was our first movie actually. When I went to Nashville, my brother got married, and we had like a horrible they're all like going partying, and we're like, okay, we don't belong here, and we took a buggy with a horse to our hotel room. Didn't realize we had the best room in the stay where we're at. And the movie that was playing that in the hotel room that night was The Notebook, and we didn't even know. And we're like, oh my God, this is like us, you know.
We were crying.
Ordered pizza and just had a friggin' night together. I was like, oh my God, you know what? We got a good life. We don't need to be partying and drinking right now. We're just hanging out with each other. And it's been like that all the time.
Yeah.
You know? And so we enjoy those moments. We cherish them, and we encourage other people to do the same.
Yeah.
You know?
To get to know each other.
Get to know each other.
Yeah.
It's the funnest time.
And I love it because you guys express that on your social media as well, too.
Yeah.
That's how I got to know you just without knowing you, is like I see your social media, I see the love, I see the things that you do together, like popping champagne before romantic massages. Like, hey, I'm not going to go too deep, but I'm saying like, but that's the stuff that you love to do, and you're out there and you're showing it, and that's, we need more of that, man.
Yeah.
We need more of it.
Amen.
All right. In an ideal world, well, I just kind of set us up for this, but an ideal world blank.
Family.
Family would be first.
That's amazing.
Family would be first.
Family.
Yeah.
Family's huge.
For sure. That's the way I believe it was designed to be.
Yeah.
Family first.
Yeah.
For sure.
Tony, you agree? Your
Yeah.
little daughter.
100%.
He's got a little girl that's just amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you do anything.
Yeah.
It's funny that you said that before when we were talking, is you had your first child, and you're like, I can't imagine, like, having so much love for this one. And then I meant to ask you, like, how about when the second one came? For me, it was like, how am I going to love this new human being as much as I love this first one?
Yeah.
Is it possible that I can have as much love? That can't happen.
Right.
Because I love this other
But
one.
you
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you do anything. It's like it's
crazy.
human. It's nature. And then the third one comes. You're like, how am I gonna love them more than both of these two? But
It's like,
together,
it all
it's like,
works out.
Yeah.
It's
God makes it
right.
perfect.
Like they're the God, like whoever
Yeah.
you believe in. There, that right there should show you that there is somebody looking
There
out.
is somebody
and
looking
something
out for
looking
you.
out and
Yeah. It's
showing you that
incredible.
it is
Yeah.
incredible.
I remember, like, I don't know who was the first person I told this, but it was like, I didn't know I was capable of loving somebody that much
Yeah.
until I had my
So
daughter.
true.
Like, I didn't know I was capable of.
Yeah.
Like, I was like unaware of that level of love.
Yeah.
That's
So I
good.
had-
Yeah, there's love
Yeah.
that you guys we all have for our significant
Yeah.
others, but I mean, for a child that you've made,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah. And
What the heck? I made you.
Hey, we're
That's-
creators, man.
Right.
Yeah, creators.
which speaks volume
yeah.
as to life and creation by far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I admire people who
Honor God.
good.
Amen. Yeah.
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 Who go after it.
Yeah.
Who go after it.
Yeah, it's very important to go
Yeah.
after it. Yeah, you need
Yeah.
to have goals and achieve and keep growing.
Yeah.
You cannot get bored.
Yeah.
Because God has given us so much,
Right.
so much territory to conquer.
He takes you, she takes you, they take you as far as you can go,
Yeah.
but to go after it, like you guys put it perfectly together.
Yeah.
God, go after it.
Yep.
Again,
Yeah.
take you to the West Coast, but
Yeah.
you know,
What's next? I
What's-
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trusting him.
what's next?
That's it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's it.
Full circle here. I love it. Oh, I get chills. All right. I love it when I get that. All right. Last question here. We'll let you guys go after this. The secret to a happy life is, I'm guessing the answers are going to all be the same here.
Yeah. The secret to a happy life?
Yeah.
Embracing your life where you're at.
Yeah.
In the highest way possible, wherever you're at.
Yeah.
I think, that can be miscued in many ways, but if you embrace your life, like I didn't know where I was going when I came out here. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I embraced the fact that there's new things on the horizon. And so I love that.
Yeah.
And so it created this anticipation inside of me of, wow, there could be some really cool things that happen. And I guess you have to be optimistic to think that way. So
Yeah.
you having vision for your life and all of that, I believe, is you just being in a place where you are grateful
Yeah.
wherever you're at. And if you're grateful, then everything else just will naturally come together.
Right.
So I think gratitude.
Gratitude's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Gratitude. What about you, hon?
I think loving God. God gives us direction
Yeah.
for everything. So our heart is full of
Yeah.
love for everything else
Yeah.
we get to do.
I think kindness, I try to teach my kids this, like being kind to everybody, putting it out there. You know,
Yes.
Yeah.
it is. I think we the compassion, compassion, like have compassion for other people.
Yeah.
Like I think we miss out on that because again, we move fast.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like be in the moment, be here,
Yeah.
be what you are now, like embrace what you are now and enjoy it. And I think if we just throw a little bit more kindness out there, that will change a lot of things.
Yeah.
100%.
It will attract more good to your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's just one kind thing you say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. One
God.
kind word at a time.
Giving God in your life too.
Yeah.
Amen.
I think we underestimate we forget how powerful He is.
Yeah.
Until we need Him. Right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny how people reach out to Him when they're in a desperate situation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, like, wait, I thought you didn't believe in Him.
Right.
You know, but that it just proves a point.
Yeah.
You know, and when you feel like you're destitute and you're alone, and this speaks to, you know, everybody out there, like you don't have to feel alone. You don't have to feel like, you know, you're the only one. You know, because there's a lot of people out there that feel alone and feel that there's no hope or future.
Yeah.
Or you make mistakes and you think that's
the end of the
you are
world.
the worst person ever.
Yeah.
And no, God gives us a lot of chances.
Yeah.
We can repent and move forward, and we know that there is a better life, that He has a better life for us. When we keep that in the forefront of our lives, we know that no matter how many mistakes, how many times I fail as a parent, I fail as a wife, I fail in business, that God has a better day for me. So that always keeps you moving forward.
Well, it's
Keep
like
moving forward.
Tony Robbins said, you know, see it for what it is, but then see it better than it is. But that's a choice. You know, you have to make the decision to see it better than what it is. And so if you're trapped in, you know, dogma or everybody else's belief about you or where you think you can go, you have to divorce those belief systems that you have in your life, and you have to make new belief systems. And that's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
Right? But it's going to be something that you're going to forcefully do because you want better for your life. And you have to make the decision, nothing's going to stop me until I get there.
Yeah.
You know, and even when I get there, I'm going to keep going.
Right.
You know, so whatever there is, maybe I never arrived there, but what I do know is that along the way, I'm going to help a lot of people. And that's a motivation. That's a driving force for me, is to help a lot of people along the way. It hurts when people hurt you back that you've loved on.
Yeah.
But I also realize it's part of the journey.
It is.
And when you can leverage that and say, I am okay when someone doesn't do something my way or the way that I the version that I had envisioned of that being, I realized that everybody's got their path, everybody makes mistakes, and I've made a lot of them.
Right.
So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep growing.
Yeah.
And then everything else can work, and you can just let that stuff go.
And it takes time.
It takes a lot of time.
I feel like a lot of people are not patient enough. Like when you pray for God or you pray or whatever, it's you got to understand it might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow. Keep the faith.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
It took me 40-something years to realize, hey, stop yelling at people in traffic. Like I didn't, like
no one's listening to you,
no
bro.
one's, my wife's sitting in the car. I tell this all the time. My wife's sitting in the car. I'm like, God, and she's like, they can't hear you. I can hear you.
They can see you.
They don't care that you're mad. And so now it's funny. She's got in my head. Like even today, I got there and I was like, nah,
no,
it doesn't. Can't hear me.
Right.
Like it's not worth it. Like if we can just those little things that now it's taken time. That's what I'm trying to say. It's taken time, and I'm still growing and I'm still learning as a person. Like
there's a scripture. If you don't mind me quoting this, but it's just like James. You know, the book of James. It's one of the last Bible books in the Bible, and he talks about faith. Yeah. He says, but he says that, you have to let faith have its perfect work, count it all joy when you face trials, of many kinds, because there's going to be a lot of trials, but let faith have its perfect work so that it produces patience. And patience in the Bible is considered a fruit, so that patience can have its perfect work and you can be complete and perfect, lacking no good thing from God. So if you can understand that you're going to go through trials, the question is, how are you going to take that?
Right.
What is your faith going to stand? How is it going to stand in the midst of a trial? And when you learn how to embrace the things that come against you, even if it's like clients that hurt you and they go with someone else or they do something, that you're like, why?
Are you coming back home screaming or yelling at your kids and your wife?
How are you going to handle that? Like I that's a lesson I've had to embrace myself and realize, okay, patience is having its perfect worth. I'm just going to, thank you, God. Thank you that I don't have to work with that client because that client doesn't really deserve me. Right. You know what I mean? They really don't honor me.
100%.
And so therefore I can see that. Someone can say you're conceited. I'm like, okay, great. But I just know this. I know that I've had so many great clients that they love me, cherish my wife and I, and would never, ever turn their back on us because they realize just how important we are to their lives.
Yeah.
So it's okay if somebody does something, maybe it's a mistake, maybe it's a journey mistake, you know, or whatever. They take a wrong turn and they decide something, or somebody persuades them and they're not strong internally. I have to remain strong so that I can be an example, so that if things come full circle and then they're like, hey, you know, I made a mistake, man. Do you mind helping me out? Or they refer you somebody, and I've had that happen. It's like, hey, you know what? It's okay. Grace.
Yeah.
It's okay. It happens. I don't hold it against you, but, you know, thanks for bringing it up, but, you know, keep referring me.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just about being grateful and trusting the process along the way.
Well, it's been amazing, dude. Yeah. This podcast is very powerful. So thank you,
yeah,
both of you for coming today. Yeah,
Thank
this has been such a great experience for myself. Like I love listening. I love talking to you guys, and this has been amazing. So please tell your viewers where they can find you for sure.
ValusRealty.com is our website. You can find it at thebrancogroup.com as well. And we're on Facebook, Branco Group Realty, and Ryan and Lilia Branco. We both have our own Facebook pages.
And Instagram.
And Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ryan Branco, Lilia.Branco, I believe it is. Yeah.
And you will see our listing signs around Other Ranch in East Lake and Chula Vista. So come and visit us every weekend. We will have an open house. So we will post it and come and see us.
Yeah. I would say social media, Instagram,
you.
DM us if you have any questions about real estate, selling your home, if you're wondering where the market's going or where things are at. A lot of people are getting false news, false narratives these days. And so we'll help demystify and help clarify for sure, and help you understand where you should be putting your money. And it's definitely not in crypto in certain ways.
Or your 401k right
Maybe
now.
in certain ways. I mean, some people are like, oh, how dare ye?
Yeah.
But, you know, there's different ways you can do things with your money, but you have to understand where things are going in these times. And so if you need understanding or you want some guidance or some help, we have the tools, the resources, the knowledge, and we'll definitely guide you guys in the right way.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for being on the What's Next podcast. It's always a pleasure. Again, this is such a powerful podcast. I love it. I can't wait till it comes out, and we'll push it out there for you guys. We love it. Tony, tell everyone where they can find us.
Well, guys, you guys can find us in YouTube. Go over there, ring that bell, you know, so you guys can get the notifications every time we post a new video. Also, leave comments. Levi loves to read the comments. He loves to respond, and so that way he knows what kind of next episode you guys want to watch. Also, go follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We are there too. So thank you guys for listening, and have a great day.
All right, take us out.